Okay, there we are. It's on. Hurrah! Yeah. I managed to get it on, but I had to sacrifice my support. I had to cut it because it was where that was welded in. It must have just been pushing the frame in the wrong ways, and it just wouldn't go on. So I'm going to ask my chap if he can do a home visit and just tack that round back in place for me, because I don't want to take the engine out of the frame again now, particularly after so much effort getting it back in. I mean, I had to use a rubber mallet and beat it, and horrendous really. But yeah, it's all fully on now. All the mounts are on. I need to just get those cleaned out of those bolts I've used there, but I've just got them on there so I can make sure it all lines up, because that one was way off earlier on. But now it's okay. After, as I say, after some beating, bit of brute force, nothing you can't do with a hammer. There's nothing you can't get to fit with a hammer. That's what I always say. So there we are. It's in the frame. Frame polishing is obviously all done as well. So coming on now. So I just need to get that support re-welded again. I think what happened was the frame support was obviously pushing it out. Also, where the inner welding was done, I think it might have distorted it slightly, perhaps with the heat from that welding. So I think there's a lesson to be learned here, and that is make sure your structural welding is done before you start messing about with the precision fitting of stuff. You know, get your welding, get your structural stuff done first, and then you won't run into the same problems that I did. But it's on now, so emergency over. Back down to DEFCON 3. Well, remember my little metal remember my little remember my little metal reservoir? Well, remember that? Cast your mind back. Here it is, welded up. Slight problem though. The chappie put the hole on the wrong side for the filler, so it's no good that side. The engine gets in the way, so I've had to cut it off, try and clean the welds up, and it wants mounting over this side. So I've just made another plate to get him to weld that on top, just to hide the bodge, and then re-weld that on this side. But it's getting there. But yeah, a bit disappointing. It was my own fault. I should have made it clearer which way around this piece had to go. But he's not done a bad job though. I mean, those welds are pretty neat actually. I was quite surprised. So once that's welded on, we finally have the reservoir sorted. Little output on the back there which has been welded on. I've checked it's watertight as well, and it is, so that's good. So well, obviously not with those on the side, it isn't, but it is watertight. So yeah, once that bit's replaced and on top there, I think I'll get it back and I can polish it up and get it looking all shiny. So there's a bit of bling. I still need to buy the little fitting for the back, but I thought I'm not. But about 14 quid those fittings. But I thought I'm not buying that until I'm sure it's watertight and it's all up together. Otherwise, I'll know what happened and I'll be stuck with it. So that's that. Subframe I've been playing with, and I've got that mounted. If you remember, but I was missing the castle nut for this here, for the top of the frame. Well, I managed to find one of the castle nuts for the RR4 frame is actually the same size. So I've cut one down and I've used that as the castle nut in there. So that's got that held in fairly tight, and I've not even got the bolt through. I haven't got it bolted up yet. So that's that sorted. So that'll save me 20 quid buying the right castle nut for the frame. So yeah, tail unit is going to be painted by Wicked Coatings, who are the guys doing the carbon coating for me. So I'm going to send that off to them soon. I've got to strengthen it up a bit. Here it is. Let's have a look at it. It's had a few in the past. It's got a few cracks sort of coming through. So I'm going to get the inside re-fiberglass to strengthen it up, and then send that off for painting. I'll get off that Velcro. It's got a foam pad on it. I'll get that Velcro off and send that off for paint now. I've done a couple of designs on the paint, There you go, which I'll flash up on the screen to have a look at. So that's the plan, that's the paint, that's what's going to happen. So that's that part taken into account. Right, bit of progress. Started to mount some electrics and stuff onto the subframe. Managed to get a castle nut sorted by cutting up a 1000 engine mount, which was quite handy. Got the swinging arm on, just as a trial fit there. I've not finished polishing that yet. Turned up today quite nice. I got my retaining clips for the throttle bodies. Got those from one of the breakers on eBay, very kindly. And he also gave me the missing engine bolt I've been after. So I've got all the engine bolts in now. What I'm doing now is I'm just mounting the rad now on here. As you can see, it's normally there's a bracket which comes from the engine on the 900, but of course I haven't got that on this, so I'm going to have to make a little something to retain the radiator and stop it doing that. If you push it right back, it hits the rocker, so I've got to try and get it mated, so that's just a couple of mil or so off the rocker. So I'm going to take a support from here through to that nut there, so something across like that. So I've just got a little offcut of 2mm alloy from what I've been making up brackets with, so I'm going to have a go at doing that now. Just a little bracket across there just to support that rad. Right, there we are. Bracket made, mounted, just below the cam sensor mount onto that fan rad. It's now solid now, that rad. Just about a couple of mil off the actual rocker. That fan's going that. So there we are, another tick box, another job done. Well, just finished polishing the swinging arm. There it is. What I thought I'd do, I'd go slightly shinier on the swinging arm, a bit more mirror shine on that, just to make it stand out a bit. Just put the mudguard on just to get an idea of how she's going to look, really. But yeah, that's looking very nice. So I just run these I was going to get these tin plated or whatever, but I run them through my drill, my favourite tool, and it brought them up a tree actually, so I'm just going to leave those as is. There's no need to waste money getting those done. So now I'm just awaiting my reservoir bottle back from my aluminium man, and then I can mount the swinging arm on properly then. Put that swinging arm on properly where it's meant to be, and that frame, bit of welding on the frame to get done, then I can start really putting it back together. So hopefully it may start coming together fairly quickly now. Hopefully, fingers crossed.